Hi guys, it's me Karen, and I've come to show you what I've got planned to do here. And one is I've got a bunch of elastic here, and I have sprayed this elastic with some Lindy Stamp Gang colors, so that's why it's got glitter on it, which isn't really glitter. I'm going to put it that way. The sprays have shimmer in them, and that's the shimmer you see. I started off with a piece of elastic that was kind of a very, very light brown. Too brown or too light for this particular piece of leather that I have here. So I sprayed this with a copper. That's the shimmer you see. And then on top of that I put steampunk brown on it. And then I put a walnut stain over that. And this is the color I came out with. And it matches quite nicely with the leather, excuse me. I'll move that aside for a second. I am going to make a traveler's notebook to fit my A size things that I want to put in it. So I have made a video that I used this paper and made a little folder to keep my stencils in for my Webster's Pages notebook, and I used it again, and I went ahead and I made myself a dot grid notebook. 6 sheets in here, folded them, sewed a line down the middle. There are 3 sections of that in here, glued them down with just some glue, and then stuck them in this little paper folder that I made. So it's kind of like a cover. I can do a video on this at a later date if you would like. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you'd like to see how this is made. This is my Leuchtturm notebook, and this is why I wanted to make one in an A size form, because this is longer and taller than a regular traveler's notebook. So if I measure that, it's a little over 5.5, so it's 5 3/4, and it is 8 1/4 high. So what I did was go online and found a leather seller who actually sells this leather in an A5 cut format. This is an oiled leather, so it's very, very, very soft. This is the inside and this is the outside. And I will have to clean it because I have been working on my desk and it's not very clean. So it will leave, if you can see it, I don't know if you can, there, up here, the fingerprints on it. But also if you scratch it, you can rub it and it'll buff out those fingerprints. The feel of this is kind of like butter. It's really, really, really nice. And if you can tell with the light there, it is a mahogany kind of color. Burgundy is what I think is what it was called. I'll have to leave a link down below. They call this a rustic piece of leather, and if you notice all the little tiny, I won't call them, it's just the texture of it. I happen to love that a lot, so I didn't mind picking that up, but you have to keep that in mind when you're buying a piece of leather. It's, you know, the skin of an animal. It's gonna be what it is. What I want to show you is how I'm going to go ahead and punch holes in this and create it. Now I have a tool that I use to do this hole punching with, and this is what it is. It is a We Are Memories Keeper Crop-A-Dile, and this is the number 2. They do sell this in just a handheld version, but this one has it so you can put your piece of paper, sorry it's a little dusty, put your piece of paper in here. Like if you're using a 12 by 12 paper and you wanted to punch a hole in the middle of it or something, you can just lay it all the way back here and it'll punch the hole in the middle. And that is what I need to do here to get the hole in the center to make the strap that goes around it. And then I'll be punching holes up here and here. This chomps through a lot of stuff. These We Are Memory Keeper chompers is what I call them. I have hole punches. I have the corner punches. These things are a really good investment. They work wonders through things. So first off, I'm going to have to figure out where I want the holes. And on any, yeah, the best right out, isn't that cool? Any traveler's notebook, it has the elastic that goes across, and then it has a hole back here that the elastic comes through. It'll have elastic that comes through just on the top and on the bottom, and it feeds through and it holds in top here, holds in your files or your papers. Okay, and this is where the one in the center comes up, and you tie a little knot on this side, then it goes out. So I'm going to duplicate that, and what I'm going to do, since these are the same height, they're just a little longer, so my bigger folders will fit in there. I'm just going to take and measure it to make sure that it's even on both sides. It's 1 inch, 1 inch. Lay it down, and then I'm going to mark where these holes are. I like these holes, so I'm going to keep them kind of in the same area. My only problem is I have to find something that I can put through here that's going to mark on this, and it's really dark, so it's going to be hard to see. And I really don't want to scratch it or anything, but it might be my only option as I'm looking at black markers. Probably won't work. I don't know if I can get a white marker to go through that hole. I hadn't really thought about this part yet. Hold on. Okay, Jelly Roll pen. I'm going to try and poke it through the hole and leave a little dot, and we're going to see if that will show up. I can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but we'll try making it a little bit bigger there, and then down here at the bottom. And I'll flip all these books over because there's another one on this side. And we'll see if that showed up. Yeah, okay, good enough for me to see, I think. This bottom one, yep. Okay, and then the middle. I don't know if I can get that through this hole here, but I'm going to try. Nothing else I can dent where I need it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think I dented it. All right, we'll put that away. Now, I'll try to get you down a little bit closer. The two holes here, and then you can see the little dent right there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to mark these just a little bit more so you can see them. So I am going to double check and see if they're in the right spot. So this will be the only time you see measure. Bottom one comes to 6 and 2. Top one comes to 6 and 2. And this one is 6 and 2. And this one is 6 and 2. And you are 7 inches by 7 inches. And if we hit the 0 mark, you will be the same. Okay, holes are where they need to be. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and the chomper's got two sizes up here. You can do it in an 1/8 or 3/16, and I have it on the 1/8, which is this, you're going to see it here, the smaller of the two, and if you move it back, it'll be a bigger punch. I kind of want the smaller punch, so I'm going to leave it on that, and then I'm going to make sure you can see this, set it in here, and I'm going to make sure it hits that dot. Now if I bring you down here, you should be able to see the tooth of the cutter come down, and we want to make sure it hits the center of that dot. Do you see the tooth? And then the dot. Okay, we want to line it up and make sure it hits perfectly on there, and then it cuts, and that is our first hole. And because this is a thicker leather, I'm going to make sure I get this side nice and clean too. So we're going to lay it down and get it on top again. Pretty sure that's it. Push it through. Okay, and then we have, oh, sorry. We have our first little hole. Ta-da! We will clean that up. And we're just going to turn it over. And I'm going to do the same on all the other white dots. On there. And push it down. Now it'll do the same thing on this one. And then we just turn it over and do the other side. Okay. I'll just clean up the other side and I'll put the camera back up. Okay, so here's this side with our little holes, and then, you know, the other side's gonna have the same kind of thing. Now what we're gonna do is run the elastic through this. Now the easiest one is going to be going through the middle and doing the edge. We're going to run it through the top and the bottom first. Now you can do this and have just 2 cords coming down, one on this side and one on this side, or you can do it so you have 4, which is double through on each. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run this through this piece. I'm going to pull a lot because I have to run it a lot through. And I have, I believe this is 5 yards of this. Okay. Then we're going to take it and we're just going to take it from the outside and push it through. This particular elastic is 2 millimeter. And like I said, the hole punch was 1/8 of an inch. Fits perfect on this particular project. So you pull it up to the top. So you'll have one coming up, and then when I run it over here, it'll come down. Then I'll run it through here again, and I'll make 4 of these. Because my Webster's Pages has 4. It gives you the option of more inserts depending on how many you want. Okay, now this is going to be a little tricky because there's already a cord through here, so it makes it a little tighter. But if you start it in the hole can actually use that other piece to help you pull it through. By pulling it down with it. See how I pulled this piece down, this one came with it a little bit. Okay, so we're going to have to do that down here and go through here again. This will just give it a double stripe down here at the bottom, just like the other one. So we'll put it, if it gets too fuzzy and you can't see what you're doing, trim a little off and make it a little easier for yourself. And I'm going to pull that over that way so I can see the hole. Putting this on a needle also would probably help you out. I don't have a needle. Just trying to push it in. I can't see, so. All right, so I did find my needle, and it looks like this. This is an upholstery needle, but I think the eye will hold this big mess up here that I have. Maybe if I can get it through there. There we go. Okay, so then I'll just put that through the hole and pull. Not easy, but I will pull it. There we go. Okay, so we have the double down there, and then I'll do the same up here. Okay, and then again down through this side. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is get you down a little closer. We're going to tie a knot in this. And I don't want to have to cut off a whole ton of this, so what I can do is pull. Well, maybe I will just cut it off. Which one is it here? This one. Okay. Where's my needle now? So you can always take off some, but you can't put it back in if you're doing this. So then we'll go down here and loosen this one. Okay, and this one. And that gives us our pieces. We want it tight, but we don't want it too tight. Okay, we have for this one here, come up here. Which one is this one pulling? Is it this one? Yeah. And we'll make that one tight. Oops, sorry. And then that should be here. The book is going to hold it down. You want it a little tight, but not too tight. This is not that one, this is this one, okay. And then we're going to tie these two pieces together. I don't know if I even had that in shot. I'm sorry, I'm going to lift this up a little bit. So sorry. So I have it all ready, and then I'm just going to tie these two. A lot of different ways of tying them. So you can, I'm going to cut this piece, tie it so it loops on itself. Okay, camera went out, so again, I ran it through here first, through, down, through, and then I'm going to tie it here. So that gives me 4 loops to put in inserts. And again, I want it just up a little bit so it kind of pulls a little bit. So when I put my inserts in, they're not going to flop all over the place. So to tie these 2 pieces, bring your fingers down to where you want it down here. You're going to add a little extra room there. I know it looks crazy right now, but you're going to twist it and pull these 2 tails out and then get where you want the knot to be. It's going to be on one of your ties. So that's a little too loose, so I want to pull it down so I can loosen this up just a bit and tighten it a little bit more. You can play with this part until you get it as tight as you want, because you can always untie your knots, I'm sorry. And not as tight, so we just pull it, and then we have that area. You can trim these if you want, or you can leave them long, it doesn't matter, up to you. Next part is to get the piece that is going to go around and tie. So I kind of measure it that way, and I leave a big tail, and I'll cut it off. You have to get both of these through from the inside through, so you have a loop, and the knot goes on the inside. So that little tiny hole, you have to get both of them through. You can do this by shoving it through the little hole. Sometimes when you're doing a video, you lose more patience than when you're trying to do it by yourself. I would take probably the time to thread that. Okay, and there's the piece. I want to be able to get that. I don't know if I can get it with my fingernails. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go, I'm pulling it out. Don't pull it all the way out because it defeats the purpose of what you just did. Okay. So this is going to go around. You have to make sure it will go around like that. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And we have to tie a knot. Remember, like we did last time, this is where you want your knot, so you're going to want to pull it up and tie your knot where you want it to be. It's going to give me a problem because I want to tie a knot. Come here, you little strings. Okay. Now I'm going to double check to make sure that's where I want it. Boom, boom, boom. And with a book in there, that'll be fine. And like I said, you can always tighten it up. That's a nice thing. If you scratch it, you just rub it, and those scratches go out with this oil dyed piece of leather. I love that part. It is as soft as the Midori piece. I'm going to cut these just a little bit. Get some of that out of my way. Okay, that's the knot, and it's going to lay up like that. Make sure pieces are pulled down. I'm going to put the book in. You can do this a lot of different ways. You can run the elastic down through this spine. You can just open the book kind of to the middle and then just slide it underneath one of these and set it in the middle. Some people don't like that, but for just showing you how to do this, that's how it works. This piece I'm just going to lay inside because I don't need to keep this book closed. Then we're going to add in the book that I made, and I'm just going to kind of go to the middle and then put it on one of the back ones and slide it in. So now I have two in here. Let's dust this off again. My desk needs to be cleaned. I'm going to make a couple more, but this is basically what it looks like. They fit in there nicely, and we just cover it up. Now I am going to add a few things onto this. One, I made a charm, so I'm going to stick that on there. I haven't decided, but I did make corner pieces, and I think they would look absolutely gorgeous on the top and the bottom of the front and the back. So I'm going to just clip the charm on here, and it'll slide nicely. The little metal, these are metal. I made a video on how I did these, and I'm going to attach these to the leather with a little E6000 glue, which is a clear transparent glue, and I'm just going to run it across here and then just apply these down on the corners, and that is what it will look like when it is all finished. It'll be a little thicker because I'm going to put in a few more books, and that is why I left it as long as it is. It won't dent like this when there's more books in there. I'll show you kind of an example. If I can find some books over here. If I add two more books in here, take these away for a minute, because I have the two other pieces here. I'll just put these in for fun. They're not the same size as the other ones I used. They're close. And I'll show you there. Put 4. You can put more than 4 in here. You just double elastic and set them through the elastic. Books and books and books, and nice and thick. And then when you hold it and close it, it'll work like that. So it will hold those books. So 1, 2, 3 of the normal, and then a nice big one. And that is going to be my new A5 Traveler's Notebook. Ta-da! Show you a picture with everything attached when I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you try it. I'll leave a link down below to the shop that I got the leather from, and a link to how I did the metal pieces. Hope you all have a great day. Bye now.